guys, welcome to another edition of our program Quest for Peace. Here today we have with us Mr. Salah Colonel, Miss Limpa, and also we have Mr. Abe Desmond. For today, they are going to enlighten us on how religion and conflict move along in our society. I would like to find out from Mr. Abe Desmond what religious conflict is all about. Please help enlighten us on it.
Well, thank you very much. It's an opportunity and my pleasure to be here to talk about religious conflict. Now, to make everyone to understand what is religious conflict, now we need to understand that religious conflict is where we have different Christian groups who have clashes based on ideas and beliefs about the different doctrine that their religious teaches them. And because of this, we realize now in the world that many people that have different versions of people that quote of quotation that comes from the Bible. All this is based on the different religions that we have today and their beliefs. That in this church, you agree with me that two churches don't have the same belief; they have their own doctrine. So this doctrine at times is making it so that they do have clashes when it comes to those ideas and feelings.
Okay, so from that, can I also say religion conflict can also result from their school of thought, like their seminaries or where they go for training, this Bible school? Can religious conflict also come out from there,
Very
from where
much.
they are being taught?
Actually, it can really come out from there because you believe with me that all the seminaries they don't teach the same doctrine. They have their own different doctrine and different belief that they wish that their followers should follow. So all these differences at times lead to clashes.
Okay, thank you very much for that. And our beautiful lady here is going to help us more and enlighten us more on this religious conflict, because I guess it's really causing a lot of confusion in our society today. So, Miss Nimpa.
Well, according to me, right, religious conflict is something which happens much more often these days than any other type of conflict in our society. Many people have this belief that when I'm grown in this type of doctrine, type of dogma, I must like adhere to it. I should not respect what another person is saying because what he's saying is not what they have been taught. So what I've been taught must be what is implemented. So this religious conflict is just a result of people having this thinking or this mindset that you must believe what I believe. Yeah, you must do what I want you to do. And that's not how you're supposed to be known.
Wow, people being like telling you, no, this is where I come from, this is my own doctrine. Yes, you need to tie a headscarf because my church they tie a headscarf. Like you're imposing, and that brings confusion.
A lot of confusion.
Oh, so Mr. Salah, can you help us?
Okay, thank you once again. Thank you for this opportunity. Alright, talking of religious conflict, I want you to first of all understand that we have diverse religions like Judaism, Buddhism, Christianity, and Islam religion. And so, talking of religious conflict, I want you to first of all understand conflict all about differences that exist between two people or parties, in which one tries to restrict the other from his or her interest. And so, looking at religious conflict, you see that the diverse religions in our nowadays or in our community nowadays, they try to restrict each other for their religion to be practiced. Like we see the Islam, the Muslims, or Christians trying to restrict each other from by saying that their religion are not well or are not the good religion or are not really the best religion to be followed or to be to pursue as a religion.
Okay, thank you very much. When it comes to the Christian and Islam, I believe those people they have their own way of living that does not correspond with that of Christians, and that is their own conflict. And when from what I've gathered, it shows that differences in ideas, schools of thought, ideologies, like they are the main reasons behind this Christian conflict or religious conflict. So right now, looking at all of this, I really want to know, like, what are the effects in the society? What has this caused the society? Is there anything that this religious conflict has damaged in the society or mold up? Please.
Yeah.
Okay, right now I want to find out from Miss Ninka, what are the causes of religious conflict?
It is important to understand that religion is a basic something, that's a basic structure in the society. So you cannot have a society without religion. Yeah, now from here, many people don't instead accept that religion should be part of their society. Because from where they come, when you're born, you are like taught your native language, all your native stuff, your traditions, your customs. Then you want to embrace now a white man's language. That's Christianity beliefs, when you have your own gods that you believe in, and all the years you have been believing, nothing strange has happened.
Yeah.
And they'll now come like, you have to follow the Christian values. Christian ethics are the best.
Yeah.
Christianity is like this, it's like this. And they'll always sweet tongue you. And that type of thing. No, seriously, when people really abandon their culture, right, to get into this Western developed cultures, Christianity or Arab beliefs even in their own gods, it's going to cause some mental disorders among some, because not everybody reasons the same. So those who are already mature to embrace the culture will embrace it proudly, but they now will revolt against those who have refused to give up their cultures.
Wow. Thank you very much. And Mr. Abe, what do you think?
Well, like she said, causes of religious conflict. Now, she talked about the cultural value of how most Africans, we cannot leave our cultural tendencies and maybe follow the Western way of life. Now, we need to understand in a more comprehensible way. Since that causes of advanced in the modern world as a result of religious conflict is that we have one which is superiority. Now, you believe with me that with the various churches and the religious groups that we have in our society today, now most of them want people to accept the fact that their own religion is the best, and that they want people to follow that religion, that based on the fact that it is superior than the other ones. So when you make it in such a way that you want people to see that your own religion doctrine is superior above other people's own, it makes it people to have a conflictual view about what you're saying, because this other religion will not want to accept the fact that no, that they are actually inferior. They also want people to understand that no, they are also superior than the other one. So when it becomes like this, it always brings up clashes. And we also have lineage. Lineage now, where some religious culture came from. Now, you want to bear with me that if, for instance, your culture back then had been the best so far, whereas we had no other culture who would compete with you, those from history dated backward, we realize that what people will still wonder, no, from their lineage, since the culture we practiced back then was the best and was superior, it should be the same now. And when new religious doctrine comes up, it tries to compete with the other one. So people will not find it difficult to accept the fact that no, let's take that old religion. No. So that particular aspect brings about religious conflict. And we also have alternative. The way you and I, the way humans believe and see religions to be. Like for example, just of recent, we had earlier this year, we had a church in New Zealand where a terrorist shot numerous people, numerous Christians there, and killed them. When he was being apprehended, they asked him why he did that. He said that if we allow refugees to come into their country, to come into their church, what happens? It makes sure that they start taking ground and taking stand and trying to practice their own religion to be the best in their country. So that was one alternative reason that he gave. We need to kill them. So all these things brings about conflictual idea about that leads to as a result of conflict of different religion.
So, Mr. Abe, from what I'm getting now, it shows that one of the causes of religious conflict in the world today is increase in denominations. Like churches keep on popping up every day because they don't want to like submit to the ideas of the Christian values or what.
Actually, that is a reason that is due to religious conflict. If hadn't been we had only a particular let's put for example, I'm just saying for example, if we had the Muslims and we had the Christian as should be the main dominant religion around the world.
Yeah.
Okay, right now I want to find out from Miss Ninka what are the causes of religious conflict.
It is important to understand that religion is a basic something that's a basic structure in the society. So you cannot have a society without religion. Yeah, now from here, many people don't instead accept that religion should be part of their society. Because from where they come, when you're born, you are like taught your native language, all your native stuff, your traditions, your customs. Then you want to embrace now a white man's language. That's Christianity beliefs when you have your own gods that you believe in, and all the years you have been believing, nothing strange has happened.
Yeah.
And they'll now come like you have to follow the Christian values. Christian ethics are the best.
Yeah.
Christianity is like this, it's like this. And they'll always sweet tongue you. And that type of thing. No, seriously, when people really abandon their culture, right, to get into these Western developed cultures, Christianity or Arab beliefs even in their own gods, it's going to cause um, some mental disorders among some, because not everybody reasons the same. So those who are already mature to embrace the culture will embrace it proudly. But they now will revolt against those who have refused to give up their cultures.
Wow. Thank you very much. And Mr. Abe, what do you think?
Well, like she said, causes of religious conflict. Now, she talked about the cultural value of how most Africans we cannot leave our cultural tendencies and maybe follow the Western way of life. Now we need to understand in a more comprehensible way the causes of
So, Mr. Salah, can you help us with another cause of religious conflict?
Okay. Concerning religious conflict and their causes, one of the causes of religious conflict can be let me say differences in culture. We all know that different religions have their different way of practicing things. They have their different culture. They have their different way in which they do their things. And so, due to these differences, one religion might try to maybe restrict others from practicing practicing their things, or from practicing the way they do their own things. Due to this, it can cause conflict between these two religions because one try to think that their own religion is the best, or theirs is really good to be practiced, while they consider the others as not being good to be practiced.
So, Mr. Salah, are you saying like differences in culture? We have this notion that Christianity or this Christian religion was being brought to us by the white man. Some African old fathers call it white man religion. So, do you want to tell me right now that Africans find it difficult to admit the fact that Christianity, the Christian religion, is the best?
Yeah, they find they find it difficult to buy the idea that Christianity is the best because it's not from their roots. It's not where they were from or they are from. It's not what they were doing at first. So this makes them to think that we took this thing from these people. We took this thing from the whites, and we have been doing what we know as our own religion. So this cannot be considered as a true religion, or the religion to be practiced, or the best religion, since we have our own that we think we have been doing that was working for us, and they they think it's good, that the Christian religion can be is not really good for them. So
So
it causes
we are Africans. I'm an African girl, a typical African girl, a black girl. So my parents, our grandfathers will, like, they always refer to this Christianity as white man's religion. We should come up to the village, no, we need to buy palm wine and do this and do this and do this. That's their religion. But the introduction of Christianity now is causing a lot of heat, and I'm trying to get the reasons why this heat is coming out from us. Mr. Adbe Desmond, please can you give us some of the effects of religious conflicts, and if possible help us with some remedies to it?
Now, we should understand that religion is something very good, and we are out. We are being rooted by faith. So, this effect that is being caused by this religious conflict, many people, a lot of migration, many fine women and children who are being persecuted based on the fact that they believe in a particular doctrine. When they are being persecuted, they are forced to leave their own land and go out. Or what happened with a lot of destruction of properties. Economically, structures are being destroyed when it comes to religious conflict. And now, as a solution to all this, we need to first understand that it's something very compassionate. If we all agree that we are all serving the same God, we are all actually winning souls for God, then believe me, you try as much as possible to accept that this one person's religion, putting in mind that we are all following the same way that Jesus taught us to follow. That is how I can.
So from what you've said, oh guys, that means we need to like really be conscious about how we deal with religious conflict, because from what we have heard now, religious conflict can destroy our society. It leads to displacement of human beings, and you see our properties are being destroyed. All the effects are on us, so we really need to do something about it. Like you said, we need to like try to respect one another's religion. So now we'll move to Mr. Saleh Cornell. So can you give us more on that?
Okay. One of the effects of religious conflict can be, let's say, genocide. Yeah, genocide. Religious conflict can lead to genocide. Genocide is a planned persecution or killing of a particular group, race, or a particular group of people who have a different culture or way of life. And so, since religious conflict is due to differences between culture, I can say it can lead to genocide. Genocide, as one religion might plan to kill another group of people who practice their own religion. So I think genocide can be an effect of religious conflict.
So what can help us with that? Like what can help remedy that?
Okay, possibly I would say a remedy to religious conflict to be able to run away from this effect like genocide, I would say the respect of one another's or each other's religion. I would like to say if each group of people who practice their religion try to respect each other's religion, then they will try to remedy religious conflict. Or I would say for example, I would say if you want respect, then you have to respect somebody. So if one religion decides to respect another religion, another religious group, then it will try to eliminate religious conflict. And also, I would like to borrow the words of Reverend Dr. Chris Oyakilome, which says, if you mind your business, then obviously you will be successful in your business. Thank you.
Wow, that's so good and creative of you. So everyone out there, respect each other's religion. Christianity is a good religion. Islam, those who are Muslim, your religion is good. Buddhism, nobody criticizes your religion. Feel free in your religion and avoid religious. I was your humble host today, Miss Chia Vista. Stay tuned for